Duh.
Which one do you want to do?
Good morning and welcome to another episode of
U-News,
where you can be the reporter. And we are about to close out another month. We have not had any reports this month. So you all are slacking on the job. And I want to point out that the reporter of the month gets this gorgeous corn-fed life tumbler.
Stainless steel.
Stainless steel, y'all. Or you can get a sports bottle that's also really nice. So, need I say that this month's winner will be very easy. There's just a couple of days left of reports. So, if you get a report in the next few days, you have a very high chance of being reporter of the month. So, check the description box below to see how to send us your clip and be a reporter here on U-News. What are today's top stories? What is going on out there?
Oh, well, today a man borrows a book from the library and his son returns it. But there's a twist. Oregon may have its first Republican governor in 40 years.
What?
Yes. A Missouri boy is surprised at who returns his birthday balloons. And Chinese police stations in New York City.
What? What is going on in the world today? I don't even know. Oh, and stay tuned till the end for a very special mail call that might include a demonstration by lovely corn-fed Corrine.
Okay, let's get started with our first story.
For the first time in more than 40 years, a Republican is highly likely to win the governor's seat in Oregon, breaching the seemingly solid Democratic line of states running along the Pacific coastline of the U.S. The tight race between the former Oregon House Speaker Tina Kotek, a Democrat, and former Oregon House Minority Leader Christine Drazan, a Republican, which is the latest polling showed Drazan with a hairline lead, indicates a rebuff of the current term-limited Liberal governor, Kate Brown. Yay, we're happy to see her go. Brown has one of the lowest approval ratings of any governor in the country, amid brewing concern over how state leadership has handled everything from the pandemic to homelessness. But it's a third-party candidate with support from both Republicans and Democrats, along with contributions from the richest man in the state, that has truly set a Republican on a path toward possible victory. Betsy Johnson, who was a moderate Democrat while serving as a state senator and now is running as an independent, has been forecast to receive as much as 14% of the vote. Outside of independent voters, 17% of Democrats plan to vote for her, while only 9% of Republicans do, according to an Emerson College polling survey released earlier this month. The gubernatorial race projections in a state where Joe Biden won by 16 points just 2 years ago have been a shock to many across the nation. They have prompted national political figures to visit the Pacific Northwest, hoping to drum up support for their candidates. On Saturday, Biden spoke at an event in Portland where he highlighted the increasingly important role governors play in policy implementation while praising Kotek's leadership and bravery. And I'm surprised he didn't praise her short haircut. You're a progressive state. You're a state that's always been ahead of the curve. Stay ahead of the curve and elect Tina, he said. Or was that Napoleon that was talking to Tina? But it was a question from a resident of Wilsonville, a city about 17 miles south of Portland, that spotlighted an issue at the center of this race. Since you've been a lifelong Democrat, how do you square yourself with knowing that your current efforts will probably cost Democrats the governorship for the state? Johnson told the audience that she joined the race because she sees herself as the best candidate to lead a state that has gone off the rails, and that she has no plan to drop out. She said, "I believe sports odd makers don't win games. polls don't predict elections. I've seen enough fourth quarter finishes to know that it's not over until it's over. And I'm in this race until the absolute end. So, wow.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, and the latest polls do show that the Republican has the best chance of winning, as long as all three stay in the race.
Wow.
So that would be an absolute miracle, because Oregon is one of the most liberal states in the nation. Part of the reason why this corn-fed crew decided to head east.
That's right.
Yeah, they have no limits on abortion in Oregon, as you might know, which is absolutely disgusting. It would be really awesome to see Oregon take a slight turn back to the right and maybe fix some of these horrible problems and all the riots and everything that's going on in Portland. As we know personally, Portland has turned into an absolute dump, and it used to be one of the most beautiful, safest big cities in the country. So let's hope she can turn that around.
So speaking of places in the country that used to be big and beautiful, we have a story coming out of New York City. The Chinese government has established overseas police service stations to keep track of its citizens abroad, including one in New York City and 3 in Toronto, according to a human rights watchdog group. Safeguard Defenders said in its report released last month that 110 overseas stations are used to help the Chinese Communist Party by cracking down on all kinds of illegal and criminal activities involving overseas Chinese. Wow, can't get away from China. The main criminal activities that are monitored by the CCP surrogates are fraud and telecommunications fraud, according to the report. It goes on to say that from April 2021 to July 2022, the Chinese authorities claimed that 230,000 Chinese nationals have been successfully persuaded to return to China to face criminal proceedings for their actions. Typically, the methods used to ensure a citizen returns involved intimidating and imprisoning a criminal target's family, or having CCP proxies threaten the target online or in person and get them to voluntarily return.
Crazy stuff.
Man, you can't get away from China?
Yeah, and how is it possible that our government is allowing the Chinese to set up police stations in our country? They have no jurisdiction here. This is absolutely appalling, and this needs to be stopped. This is ridiculous. If Trump was president, I'm positive this would not be allowed to happen. But under Biden, I think people just look at us as weak and they can do whatever they want. It's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, but speaking of doing whatever you want, next we have a story about a man that borrows a library book but gets his son to return it.
A British library said a book that was 84 years overdue was returned by the late patron's grandson, and he paid the $21.14 late fee. The Earlsdon Carnegie Community Library in Coventry, England, said a man named Paddy Reardon recently visited the library to return a copy of Red Deer by Richard Jefferies. The book had been checked out 84 years earlier by Reardon's grandfather, William Harrison. Reardon told library officials he found the book among the belongings of his recently deceased mother. The library said Reardon made a donation to the facility totaling £21.14, the amount of late fees the book would have accumulated at the rate used in 1938. Very kind of them to only charge them at the 1938 rate.
21 pounds.
Because that could have been like thousands of pounds by now.
I bet the Red Deer was a really good story. They didn't want to return it for 84 years. Very interesting. Okay, next I'll talk about a Missouri boy who is very surprised at who returns his birthday balloons. A Missouri second grader whose birthday balloons flew off into the sky received some special gifts in the mail from a man who found the lost balloons 500 miles away. Kason Johnson's mother said she was walking her son to the family car at Mountain Grove Elementary School in Mountain Grove, Missouri, when he lost hold of the balloons that had been presented to him at school for his 8th birthday. The balloons appeared to be gone for good, but a few days later, Todd Heiler was mowing his lawn in Cleveland, Tennessee, when he spotted some balloons stuck in his fence. The balloons were attached to an envelope that bore the name of the business that sold the balloons, as well as the name of the school. Heiler, a woodworker, sent handmade gifts, including a baseball bat, to Johnson and his teacher. Heiler also included photos of himself and his dachshund Henry, as well as $100 for Johnson and a letter to the boy's parents. Truly a message in a bottle, Heiler wrote of the balloons. The simple gesture of a family showing love and appreciation to their second grader with a gift of surprise humbly impacted me beyond belief. How amazingly fortunate Kason is to have a family that will make the effort to show unselfish love. Well, he certainly knows how to do that. That's really a big sacrifice.
Yeah, $100 birthday present to a stranger. I wish a stranger would give me $100 on my birthday.
Yeah, well, you got to release more balloons. More messages in a bottle.
I guess so.
Okay, so
it's time for mail call.
Well, I'll let you open it.
All right.
And I know what it is, so I'll let myself try
we
it.
have a special mail call from our friend Gary, a.k.a. BeltLoop29. Make sure to check out his channel here on the tube. He actually has 3 or 4 channels. He's got a cooking channel and I think a gardening channel or something. So anyway,
he does it all.
He does it all. And he has a great show often in the evenings with Devil Dog that they call Good Cop, Bad Dog. All right, let's see what he sent. He told us what it's going to be, but we're going to see a special thing live on the air here. This is a special chili pepper grown in his garden. I don't even know if I dare touch it, but I'm going to.
It's called the Carolina Reaper.
The Carolina Reaper. I don't know if it will focus on this. Maybe if I get in the shot. There we go. It feels spongy like a little marshmallow. But this is supposed to be one of
really
the hottest peppers out there. And this brave gal has agreed to try it live on the air.
Well, I really love spicy food, so I'm going to see if I can take this or not.
And I think that the challenge is you're supposed to eat the whole thing without stopping.
Well,
are you going to do that, or are you just going to...
I don't accept that challenge. I accept the challenge of taking a bite of it
okay.
and see how I react to it.
She's going to take a bite, and
okay.
we'll see what happens here.
Here we go.
Oh, it's a pretty good bite she's taken.
Woo, you can feel the spice instantly. Woo-wee! That's really delightful.
She's going to need some water.
Oh, man, it fills your whole mouth. It's kind of nice. I like it.
Is water going to be enough? You might need some milk.
Yeah, I'll probably need some milk. I can feel it, like, filling my whole mouth up with heat. It's not, like, totally unpleasant, though, because I like that my whole mouth is, like, warm and tingly.
I think she's going to cry. I think I see tears forming.
I think it's a little bit too hot for me. I think I'm going to let Craig finish the episode, and I will go get some milk.
Is this the hottest thing you've ever had?
I think so.
Well, there you have it, folks. Corrine is off to get some milk. Thanks, BeltLoop29, for leaving me to finish off the show all by myself. Just kidding. I'm pretty sure he warned us that this was going to be a pretty hot, spicy pepper. All right, well, we hope you all enjoyed this episode. We look forward to seeing some reports from you coming in soon. Win the Tumbler. It's going to be real easy this month. Most months we have 4 or 5 reporters. This month, none so far. So check out the description below. Also, let us know down below what you thought of the stories. If there's anything special you'd like us to cover, let us know as well. But until next time, this is Cornfed Craig signing out for Cornfed Kareen here on U News. And have a pleasant night and God bless. Bye-bye.